It's your girl Drea, and I'm back with another video. I know y'all probably like, where the hell you been? And it's a long story, but I'm back though. And I'm back with another story time for y'all. As y'all can tell by the title, but this story time is about Facebook. If you listen to my previous story time, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about, and I'll leave the link to that video down below if you want to check this out to kind of get that backstory about him. So in this story, it involves basically four people: me, Facebook, and two other females. I'm gonna call one hater, and I'm gonna call the other one, I'm gonna call her Crybaby. Okay, so hater and Crybaby. So how basically we all met. Crybaby, I had been knowing her from, like, you know, the times that I modeled and everything, and basically just from that industry I knew her. And the girl Crybaby, the day before we all got together, meaning me, Facebook, hater, and Crybaby, the day before was Facebook's birthday, right? So we went to the club, and he had a section. There was a lot of people in the section, and I think hater, if I'm not mistaken, she came along with us. I'm not sure, but I think she did. But while we were in that section, you know, there was just a lot of other people too, and that's how I met Crybaby. Now, I would be lying if I, you know, said how me and her actually started talking while we were in the section, but you know, somehow we did. We were turning up together, you know, when songs that we liked came on, we danced together, like, just, you know, turn it up basically, and everything was cool. She seemed very nice, and that was that. Like I said, that was the first time I met her. That was that. Okay, now the next day, me, Facebook, and hater were going on a trip to a beach. We were just gonna go out there, just relax for, I don't know if we went down there for 1 or 2 days. Like, it might have been just for the weekend. So yeah, we were all just going down there basically just to chill and relax. Now, at the last minute, I'm talking about literally while we were packing our things into the car about to pull off, all of a sudden Crybaby pulls up, and she was going on the trip too. Okay, now that I'm looking back on this story, that was real weird how I didn't know that she was going on this trip, but somehow Facebook and hater knew that she was coming, but I had no clue. She just pulled up at the last minute. Now that I'm thinking about that, that was kind of weird. Okay, but anywho, she pulled up at the last minute, and you know, she was going on a trip too. I really didn't care that she was going on a trip. I mean, y'all were going anyway. So as long as she was standing in a room with hater, that was fine with me, you know? So we went, we all got in the car. She loaded her stuff into the car and got in the car as well, and we proceeded to be on our way. So while we were on the way, you know how people just talking and, you know, all of that while you're in the car. It was a road trip. So, you know, you just talk, you know, vibe out, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of noticing everything that I said to Crybaby. She had like this really short answer, or she didn't really want to say too much. That's what it seemed like to me, judging how she was talking to everybody else. And then when I said something to her, or, you know, anything, it was real short, or just, you know, real weird. So I'm catching this, and I know that sometimes I can basically overthink about situations and the way that people are acting. I've always been like that, or I've always felt like I was like that. So I was thinking maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm just, you know, just feeling like she's acting like that towards me, because why would she be acting like that towards me? I had just met her the day before. It wasn't even a formal meeting. We were just having fun in the section. It wasn't like a formal meeting, you know, and she's just now coming along on this trip, so maybe she's acting like that because she don't really know me, you know. So I kind of kept it cool, kept filling out, you know, the situation and stuff like that while we were on the way. But I'm steady catching this shortness and this type of, you know, like resentment of me talking to her or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, because first of all, this was not your trip to come on, and I'll be damned if you're gonna come on a trip that, you know, I'm originally like going on and make me feel some type of way. So a little bit into the drive, I'm kind of like, not gonna happen. Okay. So I'm steady going on. We even stop at a gas station, and Hater and Crybaby goes inside to grab whatever they want to grab. And I'm in a car with Facebook. So I even asked Facebook, I was like, do you feel like she's kind of weird with me? You know, basically like, do you, like, are you catching that, or is it just me, you know? And basically he shot it down, was like, you don't do that, like we on a trip, we all trying to have fun, like don't do that. And I'm like, I'm trying to have fun, you know, and I'm just catching this vibe, and I don't like it, you know, because why you even come if you feel some type of way about me? Because I don't even understand why you feel some type of way about me. I don't know you, and you don't know me. Okay. So he was basically telling me to chill out and all of that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'ma chill. Okay. I'ma chill. So we arrive to our destination. We go into the rooms, begin to get dressed. Then we ended up in one room because we all were about to leave. And I'm still catching this vibe from this girl. And I'm like, what in the fuck is this girl's problem? I do not understand what her problem is. What is it? And so I can feel myself about to go off. You know, now I'm feeling like I'm about to go off because now you're getting on my nerves. Okay. And it's just not gonna happen when, especially when this ain't your trip. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. So we all were basically finished getting dressed. So me and Facebook go to the car, and we're waiting on them to come and get in the car. So I had to tell Facebook right then and there. I was like, look, I'm about to address, you know, this little situation because I know you can see what's going on, and I be damned if she's finna even think she finna be acting like this whole trip. So I would rather address the situation, see what the problem is, fix it, then go on. Okay. So at first he's like, oh, here we go, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, you really want me to sit up and keep letting somebody treat me like this on our trip, making me feel some type of way? You don't want me to make someone else feel some type of way, but you're okay with them making me feel some type of way? Like, make it make sense. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I'm about to address it. After I got done telling his ass off, because I wasn't cool with how he was okay with it either. Okay. So when they came and got in the car, we pulled off and everything. And so I'm like, so is there a problem? I turned to her because I'm sitting in the front seat. She's in the back behind the driver's seat. So I turned and I'm like, is there a problem? Because, I'm just noticing how you're acting towards me, and I'm trying to understand what the problem is, because I've never done anything to you, and the way that you're acting is basically like it's been real childish, and I want to know like why, you know. So I told her that, and she was like, I don't have a problem, like I'm good, like I don't have a problem. I'm like, no, you got a problem, because you guys, it was so obvious the way that this girl was acting. Like, it was so obvious. And like, honestly, I'm surprised at myself for even letting it go on for as long as it went on before I even addressed it, because we went through a whole 4-hour drive down to the destination. Then when we got there, and started to get dressed and met back up, you were still acting like that. So it was like a little minute before I even addressed it, just for me simply trying to, not mess up the trip. You know what I mean? But that's not right, because at the end of the day, she's messing up my trip and she don't even belong on this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And you're messing up my trip. I'm not gonna tiptoe around you and feel like I can't say nothing to you, or which I don't care about saying nothing to you. But why though? If you're gonna come on a trip with somebody, why? Why you even come? I'm sure you knew who all was going on this trip. So why did you even come if you feel some type of way about me? And for what reason she felt some type of way, I haven't a clue. Okay. So I'm going on, talking to her, and I'm like, I just don't like the way your vibe is. Basically, when somebody is acting funny towards you. Like, we grown. You know that you acting funny, and I see it. And now that you're getting called out, you know, you want to act like you're not doing it. No, keep it 100. Be all the way 100. If you got the balls to sit up and be mistreating somebody you don't even know, then have the balls to say why. Okay? So, she started getting a little loud. I'm like, hold up now. Hold up. Basically asking me why I'm questioning her because she don't have a problem. I'm like, first of all, lower your voice. And I'm like talking to her. But when she started getting loud, I'm like, okay, you want to pipe up? I can pipe up too. Okay, so by the end of the conversation, we had made it to our destination where we were going, which was like some little mansion pool party. We get out the car, and I'm telling her, like, I don't know if someone is telling you something about me, because at that point, that was the only reason why I could think that she had a problem with me, that somebody was telling her something. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I felt like Hater was telling her stuff about me, and that's why she didn't like me. She didn't know Facebook, and so it's like, how don't you like me? It's not even why. How don't you like me? You don't fucking know me. I'm completely cool, very laid back, all of that. So why don't you like me? And I was just trying to explain to her, look, if you don't have a brain of your own and you gonna let somebody sit up and tell you shit about me instead of you getting to know me yourself, before you form an opinion about me, then okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But be woman enough to say that when I bring it to you and ask you why you're acting like that, because you're the one acting weird. Okay? So by the end of this conversation, this girl literally, we stopped, we're getting out the car. She literally starts to cry and walks away. So Haters kind of going after her and this and that, and Facebook's like, see, this is why I didn't want you to say nothing. So I get to cussing him out because, first of all, shut the fuck up, stop talking to me, you know what I mean? And if you're gonna say something to somebody, it needs to be this bitch, not me, you know what I mean? So I'm basically just like going off on everybody at this point, and I'm saying all of this to her like chick, have a brain of your own. Don't sit up and let somebody tell you some shit about somebody and you don't get to know that person for yourself. You know what I mean? Before you just feel like you want to be a bitch towards them, because first of all, you don't know me and I will beat your ass. Not just but for real though, like don't do that, especially if it's not your trip. Do not do that. So she walks off crying. I'm like, I wasn't trying to make her cry, but I'm like, baby, the way you've been treating me this entire trip, now you want to walk off crying? Like, what? Huh? So she comes back anyway, and she's like, I apologize. I wasn't trying to make you feel that way, and just saying a bunch of shit. So anyways, I accepted her apology just to get through the rest of this trip. We all go into the mansion party. All of a sudden, everything is fine. Now she's uppity and just a regular person all of a sudden after that. So the vibe just feels super fake now. And, you know, it was just a lot for no fucking reason, okay? But there was absolutely no way I was gonna go through that whole trip without addressing that, because it was 100% wrong the way that she was treating me, and she didn't know me. You're not about to be on my trip doing that. No, sorry. So, yeah, we went to the party, and after that we went, there was like this strip that had a bunch of like bars and places to eat on the beach. And so we went and sat down and got some food. And Hater was talking to me, and she basically was talking about Crybaby, and I'm just looking at her like, you know, because at that same time, in the back of my mind, I felt like she was the reason why Crybaby didn't like me in the first place. I felt like she was the reason why, because there was just some situations that happened before that trip and before that day that, you know, just felt like she was fake anyway. But she worked with Facebook, and we all worked together basically because we were all in that circle, so we were always around each other. But there was just a little, you know, how it just be like different little situations that you feel like you catch little things, and, you know, you be like, yeah, this bitch fake, you know. But so I just felt like she was the reason why Crybaby didn't like me in the first place. And now she's sitting down while Crybaby is I think she was in the bathroom or something like that at this time, and you talking to me about her, you know. And it was just the character that I felt like she was, you know, because the whole time she's kikiing and, you know, with her, until she walks away and it's just us, and now you talking about her. So crazily, Crybaby walks up while she's talking about her and heard her saying something. So now they're like having a little conversation and shit about that. And I believe Crybaby started crying again. That's why her name Crybaby. She started crying again about some shit. And I felt like she felt stupid. She felt stupid because I know that Hater was the reason why she was treating me like that. And now she felt stupid because she walked out and you know, ran into Hater talking to me about her now. And now she's getting a feel of the type of person that Hater was. And that's exactly why I kept saying to her, you need to have a brain of your own. Don't let somebody, you know, alter your feelings towards someone when you don't even know them. At least get to know them until you get that. If you're, you know, open to coming on a trip with somebody, at least get to know them before you start acting funny. You don't know what's going on, because this ain't the bitch to be trying to be loyal to or not liking who she like, because baby, you probably not gonna like a whole lot of people, for real, for real. So that was my story time for today. And if y'all feel like I handled that situation wrong, please comment below and just tell me like how you feel like I should have went about that situation. Because like I said, I do feel like a lot of times I overreact how I feel that other people are treating me sometimes. But in that situation, I just really felt like something was truly off, and the way that she was treating me was just wrong. So that was the way that I reacted. And if you feel like I could have handled it a different way, just leave a comment down below and let me know. But in the meantime, I will see y'all next time. And thank you for tuning in today. And I missed y'all. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.